Master of Chaos. Ninjago Confidential. Ninjago City. My city. I know it like the insides of my own circuits, which is why I know it has a dark side. My best friends are trapped in an immersive video game called Prime Empire. Zane stood on a rooftop in a trench coat and a fedora. It was foggy. Yeah, you heard that right. They're being held there by a villain named Unagami. But Unagami isn't his real name. It's as fake as a used car salesman's smile. His true identity is Milton Dyer, the computer programmer who designed Prime Empire. The only hope for them getting out of the digital world rests on finding Dyer in the real world. My world. I was fishing for leads, but for now I find myself adrift on a sea of dead ends. Pixel stepped out of the fog, approaching Zane. Then she walked in. There you are, Zane, she said, shining the only ray of light into my dreary world. Pixel frowned. Who are you talking to, and why are you dressed like that? She demanded. Since we are engaged in detective work, tracking down a missing person, I have downloaded thousands of detective books and movies as research, Zane explained. And that has to do with hats? Pixel asked, puzzled. According to my analysis, 100% of successful detectives wear trench coats and hats while narrating their thoughts. Thus, I have adopted the same methodology, Zane replied. It seems improbable that hat choice and overly descriptive monologues are significant factors in an investigative outcome, Pixel said. Zane sighed. I've tried everything else to no success. This method has to work. Well, okay, I guess. I do have a new possible avenue of inquiry, Pixel said. A lead, Zane announced, back in character. What? Pixel asked. Detectives call it a lead, Zane explained. Okay, I have a lead. A source willing to share information, she said. Ah, so a canary wants to sing. Who is it? Zane asked, back in character. Pixel projected an image of a younger Milton Dyer and another figure. Remember this photo from Dyer's childhood home? I was able to track his friend to Laffy's karaoke club. Perhaps he knows Dyer's whereabouts, she suggested. So, a rumble on the street gave us a hot tip about a goon we needed to shake down. It was time for these two gumshoes to beat feet. Pixel sighed. It was going to be a long night. They arrived at Laffy's, and the entire place went silent as they walked in. I'd been here before. It was a low-class joint that served cheap boba tea. As soon as we walked in, every palooka pointed their ugly mugs at us. Pixel quickly pushed Zane away from a couple of men at the bar. Hey, is he talking to us or about us? One of them asked. I don't like it either way, the other replied. Perhaps that is enough detective narration for now, Pixel suggested. She said nervously, because from the looks of these rowdy no-good-nicks, it was clear we were in for trouble. Dareth approached them, holding a couple of trays. He lit up, tossing the trays aside. Zane, Pixel, wow, so good to see you guys, he exclaimed. What brings you to my karaoke club? Oh, Dareth. Hello. My memory now accessed the fact that you own this establishment, Pixel said, caught off guard. Don't tell me. I know, Dareth said. He lowered his voice. You need the Brown Ninja's help on a mission? Brown Ninja? Zane repeated, breaking character for a moment. Let me guess. The other ninja are lost in some crazy realm somewhere and you need to find something to bring them back? Dareth said. Your guess is surprisingly accurate, Pixel said. Yeah, it happens a lot to those guys. Gotta love them. Hold on, I'll get my stuff, he said, dashing toward the back. One of the men from the bar approached Zane and Pixel. Hey, you twos. I got a bone to pick with you ninja guys. You locked my brother up in Cryptarium prison, he accused. That's quite possible. Who is your brother? Pixel asked. Fugidove, the man replied, leaning in close enough for Pixel to smell his breath. Who? She asked. Fugidove! Coo! You know, his cry fills the night, Fugidove's brother insisted. That name is unfamiliar to me, Pixel said. The lug was as big as an ox and smelled like one, too. "Oh, what did you just say?" Fugitive's brother exclaimed, offended. "He wasn't the sharpest crayon in the box. Hey! But if it was a fight he wanted, I was happy to give it to him." "Oh yeah? Let's see about that. Get him, boys!" Fugitive's brother shouted, and his buddies approached. A full-on brawl broke out. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's why I decided to throw an uppercut to his glass jaw. "Uppercut, eh?" Fugitive's brother said, blocking the punch Zane threw at him. "Blocked! Ha ha ha!" He punched Zane. Dareth came back out in his brown ninja gi. The old suit must have shrunk in the dryer, cuz he chuckled a little. "It's a little tighter on the, He then noticed the fight. "Wait, you started without me? Well, don't worry, guys. I got your... Oh!" He was thrown aside. "Back," he groaned. His power to predict my every move was unnerving, but I figured a sharp right cross would stitch him up. "Right cross? Blocked!" Fugitive's brother cackled, blocking the punch. He lifted Zane up by his shirt. "Now you're mine, ninja guy." Pixel tapped him on the shoulder, and when he turned to look at her, she threw a solid punch, knocking him out. Well, the good news was she had saved my Nindroid bacon. The bad news was whoever we were looking for was probably long gone. "Who were you looking for?" the bartender asked Zane and Pixel. "A childhood friend of Milton Dyer's," Pixel replied. "Dyer, huh? I haven't heard that name in a long time," the bartender said. "Jackpot." "You were Dyer's friend?" Pixel asked. "Yeah, that's right, when we were kids. Name's Tony," the bartender said. "We would appreciate anything you might know about Milton Dyer's current location," Pixel said. Tony poured each of them a glass of boba tea. You're not the first to ask about him over the years. Reporters come by every so often, but I never told him anything because old Milty deserves his privacy," he said. "But you're ready to speak now?" Pixel asked. Tony sighed. "With this Prime Empire stuff happening, those kids missing, I guess it's time to talk." Zane took the straw out of his drink and took a swig. "Spill it! Where's Dyer?" he demanded, still in character. "I don't know exactly, but I know this. You should check out Buddy's Pizza," Tony said. "Why?" Pixel asked. "It's where Milton played his first video game. That's where he found his life's calling as a game programmer," Tony replied. "He'd called it Video Game City. Always went back there as an adult. For inspiration." Zane and Pixel exchanged a glance. Buddy's Pizza was no different than any other hole-in-the-wall pizza joint, except it had the best games in town. It had been shut down by the Fuzz due to the disappearances. "Someone's coming! Let's go!" a voice whispered as Zane and Pixel approached Buddy's Pizza. Two kids ran out. "Ugh, I almost had a high score," one of them complained. Kids have been sneaking into the place to get their fill due to the city's video game prohibition. Pixel looked at Zane, annoyed. She loved him very much, but he was driving her crazy. "You are beginning to get on my nerve circuits. Are you going to talk in that voice the whole time?" she demanded. Her eyes showed annoyance, but her heart revealed that she respected my unorthodox techniques. "My heart did not reveal that. Every part of me is annoyed," Pixel said irritably. Zane just walked into the pizzeria. I had my work cut out for me. I had to prove I knew what I was doing. Pixel sighed loudly and followed her other half inside. As they looked around, the mechanic slowly crept up behind Pixel. Zane turned and gasped, "Pixel, hit the dirt!" Pixel dodged as the mechanic swung at her. Several of his henchmen came out and surrounded them. "I got wind of you sniffing around Dyer's old haunts. It was only a matter of time before you two buttons showed up here," the mechanic said. Pixel turned to Zane. "Is the mechanic doing your detective thing too? This is just weird." "Let's paste these palookas," Zane declared, refusing to break character. He attempted to fight off the henchman, but he was outnumbered and he got kicked into an arcade cabinet. His system was shorted out and he went down. "Zane!" Pixel cried, rushing toward him. "We must," she cried out as the mechanic shocked her and she fell. The last thing she heard was the mechanic chuckling. "Unagami will be pleased as punch." When she woke up, she was alone. The mechanic and his henchmen were gone, and so was Zane. "Zane?" Pixel called, getting up. She spotted his fedora on the floor and rushed over to pick it up. Zane! She looked around, then sighed. She put the hat on. I was desperate and willing to try anything, even Zane's detective theory. So I put the hat on and went for broke. There had to be a clue somewhere in this rundown, crazy world. I might have lost my partner, but not my resolve. The answer had to be somewhere in this place Dyer called Video Game City. One of the arcade cabinets lit up. Voice activation password, Video Game City, accepted. Pixel opened the cabinet and found a hidden staircase leading up to the roof. I was as surprised as anyone to discover Zane was right. Talking aloud in a funny voice seemed to help. I decided to stick with it. Pixel started to go up the stairs. She came out onto the rooftop to see an old man feeding the birds. His back was turned to her. Milton Dyer, I presume, she called, still in character. Dyer turned around with a sigh. I knew it was only a matter of time before someone found me. I assume this isn't a social visit, he said. No, Mr. Dyer. Or should I call you Unagami, Pixel said. I'm not Unagami. Unagami was what we called the game. It was our working title. Before we called it Prime Empire, it was Unfinished Adventure Game 1. But the artificial intelligence that ran the game was so dangerous, even I realized I should never complete it, Dyer explained. Pixel was so startled she broke character. Then who did? She asked. No one. We locked that program under so much security it won't ever see the light of day, Dyer replied. The only way the program could have been finished would be if... His voice trailed off as he came to a horrified realization. If Unagami completed programming itself! Pixel gasped. Oh no, was all Dyer could say.